Yo, welcome rivals. I'm Mr. Rosa Pony, a TFT Challenger player, and today we're gonna break down a hero tier list for the new auto chess mode of Marvel Rivals. So let's jump right in. You will find all the information that you need about the new mode, Ultron Battle Matrix, in this Google Sheets here that I prepared. The link is in the description. And now those heroes, you will rank them in the tier list as you're already used to it. And they are set in a random order. So we're just going to go where it takes us. Scarlet Witch is currently not usable. Her ultimate is having a too long charge time. The damage is decent if you can stack it multiple times with a Jeff and Warlock combo, but there's just other heroes that can do that way more reliantly and with way more DPS. So she is F tier for me. Then Luna Snow, in itself actually a pretty decent character here in the auto chess, but her range of her ultimate is not as big as from other healers, and that makes her less reliant if the units are moving around a lot, and that's why I would only put her into B tier. Then we are having Venom, which I would say is currently the best tank. S tier, if not even S tier plus. Since he is so strong, this is the only reason why those one Vanguard frontline comps are even working. Even though it's only one character, he can provide you frontline for days. It's crazy. Sorry to interrupt, but short self-promotion is needed. Currently 92% of the people watching the videos are not subscribed to the channel. So let's make a deal. You watch this video all the way till the end, and if you learned something new, then you have to subscribe. Next up, we are having Punisher, a duelist that can find some purpose in a 6 duelist comp, but he's not strong enough of a duelist to be like a solo duelist in a 1-4-1 combo, for example. So we're also going to put him into B tier. Then we are having Magic. She in itself is not really strong, but if you combine Magic, Iron Fist, Black Panther to go on a full backline dive combo, and you play it in a lobby where you actually do not have lots of people running 6 Vanguards, for example, then it's actually not too bad. So I would say situational. They have really strong power, and that goes basically for Magi, for Black Panther, and for Iron Fist. So I would not say those heroes are bad and they never see any play, or you should never choose them, but the situation where you can use them is not as open. Now you have to do really well scouting in the lobby to see if it's actually a lobby where it would make sense to have those assassins to run and kill the backline. Then next up we are having Wolverine, and I would put him S tier, but not he's not crazy good. Like, it's not like, oh yeah, you get 2 strength modules on a Wolverine and then you're instantly gonna win the games on his neck. But if you see that you're playing a lobby where everyone is going really high health, then I would slot in Wolverine into your team comp and make him work, because he is really good to counter. But if there's nothing to counter, then he's not too strong. But like, I would say as a swap in hero to change your comp to react to something, especially in the late game, he has great value. Then we're coming to Groot, which I would say from all the tanks is probably the worst ones, and that is largely due to his bad AI with placing his walls. So his walls get almost no value. The only setup that you're fighting where you could get sometimes some value is when you fight a 6 duelist comp, but this is just it's just too rare to happen, and yeah. The other tanks are just way better. So it's completely the opposite of the hero shooter. Then we're having Psylocke. She is up there with Magic, Black Panther, Iron Fist. In some matchups, she is pretty decent, but she does require definitely 2 strengthening modules to make her ultimate having the kill potential that you need for like high health targets, and that's why I would put her B tier. She needs lots of resources. Our duelists can perform better with less resources. Next up, we're having Mr. Fantastic. This is basically the only duelist that you can run as a frontline tank if you're playing 6 duelist combo, for example. I would say he is okay, but also not that crazy, so I'm also going to put him into B tier. Then next up, we are having the Thing. He is, I would say, a decent amount better. So if you place him strategically, so he instantly charges into the backline and CCs them, he can get decent value. So I would put him like slightly above Groot in the ranking. Then Spider-Man, even though he is extremely annoying in the hero shooter, he's almost unplayable in auto chess. His ultimate is not getting any kill potential potential on any, as soon as you stack some modules and get more HP on them, like his kill potential is really low. So I would definitely put him into F tier. Mantis is probably the worst support from the supports that we have. She provides not a lot that can be used, like her damage buffs and stuff. They are not high enough to like get you through like a tank or something like this. And the other healers, they just have higher area of effect. So I'm going to put her into C tier because she's definitely better than those duelists. Then next up we are having Squirrel Girl. She is actually one of the best DPS if you want to have like some kind of AoE. So if you're running a 1-1-4 combo and you only have like one duelist that has to deal the job, Squirrel Girl is a decent choice for that, and therefore I would put her into A tier. Then Cloak and Dagger, much debated, but I think Cloak and Dagger has a pretty wide AoE range on the ultimate, and this is actually not too bad. Like, it's way better than Mantis in comparison and better than Luna, so I would also put her into A tier. Then next up we are having Thor. Thor has a really strong combo with Loki and Hela, and I'm going to talk about them later. Yeah, like, he's going to be A tier just because he enables that strong combo, and especially for taking down low health targets. His ultimate is actually capable of one-shotting them in the late game if you stack it properly. Then we're having Doctor Strange. I would say he is one of the better tanks, but not as good as Venom, so we're gonna put him into A tier. The amount of CC he has is crazy good, and he has that one strengthening module that is giving him extra damage the more times he is using it. And if you run him in a 6 Vanguard comp, for example, where you always go into overtime, you can get crazy value out of that strengthening module. Then we're having Moon Knight. This, for example, is a duelist that can solo carry games, especially if you get all the revives and stuff like this on him. He will ult after a revive and stuff like this, and the area is quite strong. Also, he is the best counter hero if enemies are clumped. So if you play against one that has all of his units in like one side, for example, and you buy the strength module upgrade for him, then he will disposition them and all group them up, and it's really easy for you to get that advantage. So if you see that in your lobby the people are lazy, then maybe switch out one of your duelists for a Moon Knight and just wreck them because they're not positioning properly. Next up we're having Ultron, another support, and I would say he's the equal strength of Mantis. He can deal a decent amount of damage while healing, but most of the times he's not getting the value on the whole team, and other healers are getting it on the whole team, so he's gonna be C tier. Then we're having Emma Frost. I would say next to Venom, the second best tank in the game, maybe slightly lower. That's why I also said Venom should be S+, because he's so crazy strong, but she's also gonna be put into S tier. Because for a Vanguard, she's dealing an insane amount of damage. Her ultimate is giving really wide AoE range, and it is strong enough to kill duelists. And the earlier you get that ultimate, the easier it is for you to win a fight. And she has a strengthening module that gives her 40% ultimate energy at the start. Then next up we are having Bucky, also insane, because he has an ability where he can stack his ultimate to be stronger. The earlier you get that ability, the stronger the character gets as you progress through the game, and he is really good and can even get so strong that he can one-shot Vanguards on a 6 Vanguard comp. So definitely S tier. Then we are having Namor. I would say he is one of the weaker duelists, but he is still playable, especially in the early game. If you go a Hulk Namor for the team up and you are dealing with people that pick a bit squishy teams or even like backline, similar as in the hero shooter, when he spawns those monsters, it's quite helpful to survive that in the early game. And just later you would switch him out. So I would say he is B tier overall, but in the early game he is A tier. Then we're having Magneto. He is one of the weaker tanks, I would say, in comparison. He's definitely weaker than Thor. He has less kill potential. The only way he really kills is if you actually purchase 2 strengthening modules. But in most of the comps where you run Vanguards, you don't want to waste your defensive strengthening modules on a Magneto, so he will run without it, and that makes him almost unusable. He's most likely used in the early game of a 6 Vanguard comp, but people switch it out later. Then we are having Storm. If you are in a lobby where the people are not tanky, she's easy S tier. But since this is almost never the case, I will put her into B tier. But keep in mind that like if you see that it's like a really low HP lobby, lots of people playing like aggressive comps, then Storm is perfect to clean it up. If they go too much high health, even with all the strengthening modules, she will not be able to count. Especially unlike Iron Man. Iron Man is definitely S tier, is able to one-shot everything. No matter what you put in that game, the highest stacked Venom or whatever, he has one strengthening module that gives him extra damage on his ultimate for every time when a teammate of him dies. And this can be easily stacked and proc if you use Adam Warlock for his reses. And this is also the reason why he is S tier support. The amount of reses he gets off to stack on like Iron Man or Bucky, it's absurd. And those combos here are like a must pick whenever you see them. You can strengthen this combo even harder if you put Jeff in the equation. That is also why he's S tier, because every time when you in the game can give a numbers advantage. So it's not 6 versus 6, it's like 6 versus 4 or 6 versus 5, even if it's a small one, you get a benefit. And if the Jeff ultimate is doing that pretty reliantly, where they eat some of the enemies, maybe 1 or 2 are left, and then the rest of your team can kill off those 1 or 2, and then Jeff spits out the another 4, and you just clean them up afterwards. So Jeff really strong, and Jeff has a strengthening module that is giving you economy. So that means you can get extra modules for free if he swallows more than 3 enemies. At the start, you only get the ones that are worth 5 gold, but later, if he swallows more and you go higher in the stages, you can even get the 10 or 15 gold modules by that. And this resource play is extremely strong. I'm gonna go over the different economies in a different game. If you're already in the spreadsheet, you can see it's already prepared and you can read through it, but I will explain it in more depth, and Jeff plays a big role in one of the strategies that you should not be sleeping on. Next up is Star-Lord, that unlike the hero shooter goes straight into F tier. His ultimate just has no kill potential, and he is doing, for some reason, lots of AoE damage, like his strength modules allow him to target multiple units, and it's just not useful. Like, you want high damage to get rid of one target quickly, and yeah, he's not providing that. And Hawkeye is just the same. Like, he's not as good. It makes no sense. Like, they have no single kill potential. Penny, on the other hand, is a pretty decent tank and can, in the combination with Rocket Raccoon, actually be used as a solo tank in 1-4-1, and therefore I'm going to put her into A tier. She does require the module that is increasing her speed for the spiders that she's producing, and you need Rocket Raccoon. But if you have them as a combo, they are pretty darn strong. For a character that you don't even need a combo, that's actually Loki in itself. Instantly when a fight starts, you already spawn his clones on your healing, so you can position your other healers, your duelists around Loki, and at the start of the fight they will definitely have that heal available. He has strengthening modules to reduce that cooldown, so it's even more applicable. If he's about to die, he goes in his shade form and escapes it, and his healing and his damage output is decent. Like, he has no weak spot, and he enables the Thor Hela combo. And now that we already said it, we're going to put her into S tier. And this combo with like 2 S tier, 1 A tier, especially in the early game, if you see that and you want to win streak as a strategy in the early game, it's a must pick. It is really strong. Captain America is probably, I would say, like the weakest hero in the 6 Vanguard comp, for example. He does not find any play somewhere else in comps, but he is still better than, like, for example, slotting in a Thing, a Groot, or a Magneto. So I would put him like between A and B tier, and I'm just going to put it into B tier. Just know that in the 6 Vanguard comp, you would not choose Thing or Magneto, you would choose Captain America over it. Then we're having Black Widow, which is probably the most hated character in the hero shooter, because like many people play her and they don't perform on her. But here in the game, it's actually the opposite. She has an ability that you can buy with a strength module that stacks every time she gets a kill, and she is one of those characters that has as automatic target strategy, she attacks the lowest health targets. So it's easier for her to get those final hits, and if you stack her, like if you get that strengthening module from the start, and she can keep stacking, why? Because it also works in the PvE rounds, so the earlier you have it, the better it is for her. I would say if you don't have it by round 5, don't play her. But if you get it early, she will one-shot anything. She doesn't care what it is. Like, it's crazy. So I'm going to put her into S tier. She needs a bit of setup, but if the situation is right, she's unbeatable. Then we're having Human Torch. He is a pretty decent duelist, especially if you're playing versus a tanky lobby, because he has one of his strengthening modules that allows him to deal percentage damage based on the enemy's max health, and he makes it easy to mow through. And he also pairs well with Invisible Woman, which is also an A tier strategist, because her ultimate range is really strong. She has one strengthening module that gives her 750 HP and a lot of regen and stuff, and they both have a team up with the Fantastic Four, making it a pretty decent comp. Also, if you want to run like a single duelist, for example, Human Torch is capable of doing it. But there's just a couple like Bucky, Iron Man, Hela, Black Widow that could do it better. But if they're not available, definitely a solid choice. And now we have Hulk, also an A tier Vanguard. His value is coming from his shield, where he can make the team invincible. And he has one module that is making the shield explode. And if you get it on lots of your people, they are like going around like a squishy target. All the shields explode at once because they have the same timing. Then it's actually a decent amount of damage, and you can one-shot squishies with it, or at least it does like a decent amount of DPS. So yeah, solid choice. And I would say this is currently a pretty accurate hero tier list of the current meta. We have not seen any patches. Of course, it's not clear if the mode will be permanent, but I assume that like developing such a mode for like a 2-week period is way too costly. So my guess is that they are taking this, trying to get feedback on how to improve it, implement the feedback, and then they're going to release it as its individual mode, similar to TFT, how it was reduced into the League of Legends client. Yeah, and if you still have any questions or you think something is incorrect and you have some arguments, just leave them in the comments. And I would say cheers, see you in the next one. And of course, the pony is S tier, don't forget that.